You know, we're all interacting with AI systems more and more these days. They're helping us out at work, they answer our questions, and they can handle all sorts of small tasks. And as these systems get better and better at what they do, well, it's pretty natural to start wondering,
Who is really in control? Now, I want to be clear. This isn't a question that's meant to cause any worry. It's really just about getting a clear, simple understanding of how things work.
So, in this short foreview, that's exactly what we'll aim for, just some clarity. We're going to look at what control actually means here, what the human role is, and what the basic limits of AI are.
okay, so first things first, we need to define control. And when we talk about control here, it's not about intelligence and it's not about power. It's about something much more straightforward. Control, for our purposes, just means this: who decides the goal, who sets the limits, and who is ultimately responsible for what happens. That's really the core idea for understanding how humans and AI work together. You can think of it like this. The human's job is to define the playing field and point the way. The AI's job is to operate inside that playing field. It's a simple difference, but it's a really important one. So let's see what this looks like in action. You see, AI systems don't just work in a vacuum. They're part of a process that always starts and ends with a person. It usually goes like this. A person starts things off by setting a goal and defining the limits. Then the AI gets to work inside those boundaries, just following its instructions. And if something unexpected comes up, well, the human is there to step in, to guide it, or to make a correction. They take responsibility. And this is a key point. An AI doesn't just wake up one day with a new purpose. It simply follows the instructions it was given. It doesn't create new goals for itself out of thin air. And that leads us to a really simple but powerful idea. While an AI system can appear to act independently, its overall direction is always dependent on a human. Now, this whole setup has some obvious benefits, but it also comes with very clear limits. And understanding both of those, well, that's really the key to using AI in a way that's effective and safe. The benefits are pretty straightforward. AI is just really good at handling repetitive, routine tasks. It does them with speed and consistency. And that frees people up to focus on the bigger picture, the higher level decisions.
But there are also clear limits. These are boundaries on what an AI can do and, frankly, what it should do. And it's important to see these not as technical flaws, but as fundamental boundaries.
And maybe the most important limit of all is this: an AI doesn't understand human values. It works with logic and data. It doesn't have a sense of right and wrong. And because of that, an AI can't really judge the real-world consequences of its actions, not like a person can. And it certainly can't take responsibility for an outcome. This is exactly why that final control has to stay with people. So again, these limits aren't failures of the technology. It's better to think of them as guidelines. They show us how to use AI safely by making sure human judgment is always there where it matters most. It's also probably helpful to talk about what control is not. There are a few common ideas out there that can cause some confusion about how these systems actually work. So, one misconception is that AI has its own goals or that it's somehow out of control. But the reality is much simpler. An AI is a tool. It follows instructions, and it works within the boundaries that people have set for it. And one more thing, human control doesn't mean you have to watch every single little thing the AI does. It's not about micromanagement. It's about setting the overall direction and being responsible for the result. Think of it more as strategic oversight. Okay, so let's look ahead for just a moment. Even as AI gets more and more capable, this basic principle of human control, it's not going to change. Now, it's true that in our day-to-day use, these AI systems are going to feel more autonomous. They'll be able to handle bigger, more complex jobs with less of our direct input. But even as that happens, the fundamental roles stay the same. Defining the goals, setting the limits, and taking responsibility. Those will always be human roles. So this was a Foreview, just a brief, calm look at what control really means when we talk about AI systems.